So I was asked by some women to maybe try to provide some understanding or give my take on um, what can women do to help men to feel more comfortable to share their emotional side or to become more emotionally available. Of course, a lot of men are different, so but I will try to touch on something that's common. But before I get into that, let me say this. I'm coming from an aspect, I'm talking about men, from mature men, men that are responsible, men that have their own stake in life, men that are not indifferent to being self-sufficient, or men that really understands their purpose in life, trying to manifest it. They're progressive, you know. They're not really on the gamemanship and things like that that often we might hear women associate with. So I don't identify with that. So what I'm talking about is just men that are, you know, they have no problem with being men and walking in uh, what they're set to do, to leave their mark in life. And so pretty much you'll recognize most men that identify what I'm saying, they're pretty much probably mirror those things I just explained. So here's the thing that can help men become more emotionally available. Uh, I want to name three things. You know, one is rapport, the other one is understanding, and the other thing is anchoring. Men really look for an anchoring when they're interested uh, in a woman. The anchoring is like a solace for him. So he's looking for a solace that grounds him, that helps him despite whatever pursuits that he's engaged in daily or whatever. He know he has a place of retreat, and that place of retreat has to be an anchoring. It has to be a calmness. If you notice, a lot of times, ladies, when it's hard for men to really understand if you become a little too more emotional. You know, not knocking it, but we're just talking real talk here. Um, that bothers a man because he's drawn to see how your emotions are used to help bring a calm. So he attracts to that. Very rarely you'll see men attracting to the war in you. He is attracting to the calm in you, the settledness that you bring. He's like, you don't mean you can't be emotional. He's fine with that, but he needs to be sure to know that there's an anchoring because it anchors him. And then from that, there's an understanding that he wants to make sure that you have of him. One of the most damaging things that women can do, one of the most heart-piercing things that women do to men is not understand them. And that sends a very deep wound. And unfortunately, I think due to a lot of us men, we don't really communicate about these things as openly. It's not really maybe understood among the ladies. So hopefully this helps you. Men really desire to be understood because in that understanding, it allows him to know that the level of closeness, you understand that you're beyond the reward or fate of him. In other words, what I mean is that if things don't go right, you're not trying to charge it to a negative account to him. So you understand him. That allows a man to know emotionally that um, you have a level of centeredness about you and anchoring about you that you understand his flaws, understand his frailties, understand some of his weaknesses, and is not charged against him. This is why understanding is very important. And from there, men really like to build rapport with women. I know women sometimes I use dating and all those different type of mediums to maybe understand a man emotionally or thinking she can open a man up emotionally. And lots of them are frustrated, so like, I can't get a sense of him. Well, you're not going to get a sense of a man at a date, dating per se. Matter of fact, the mindset among men, they don't even like to date. The reason why is because it's precarious to men. In other words, it's hard for them to get a read. Men like to be able to get a real read or a real feel emotionally from a woman. So it feels like it's always staged, or all the interactions is always staged. It feels like a date to him. And men are not really highly motivated by dating unless they're just really into just a social interaction and really having fun. It doesn't have a lot of stake with a lot of men. So a lot of men try to avoid it because it just feels like it's more entertaining the woman before she's bored or whatever. That's just the mindset of men. But he views rapport building as a way to be able to um, develop goodwill, if we might say, or allow him to be able to get a sense of clarity about you and him. He just needs to be able to have an authentic space where he can understand you, so he can see you. Men have to be able to see you. And so a lot of times we do a lot of things to be able to see you. So when we're able to feel anchored, we can see you. When we're able to understand you, or you can understand us, it allows us to be able to see you. And then when you're able to build rapport with us, it allows us to be able to see you. And so when we have those things in place, it allows a man to feel more emotionally comfortable to express himself. So I hope this helps. Let me know what you think. All right. Hey, one love.